Welcome back, you guys. Everybody put your hands up if you communicate. Everybody put your hands up if you communicate. Just a little something, I always start something off different. But good morning or good afternoon to everyone. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. The sun is shining, but I bet you it's still cold depending on where you at. I bet you. So bundle up. If it's nice, shorts. Excuse me, NYC is really cold. But yesterday I talked to you about how trust plays a very effective role in a relationship. Today I'll be talking about how communication is if the biggest, if not the biggest, depending on how you order your the 3 steps, it's very important in a relationship. Why? Because first you have to figure out, like I'm gonna keep saying, figure out who you're with. Figure out the type of person that you're with. This will determine a lot about your communication. Sometimes we jump to conclusions that everybody communicates just like us, like just like yourself. But in reality, we don't, because we're all different people. We're all brought up differently. So you have to figure out who you're with in order to communicate effectively with that person. It ties in with trust. Communication should come with honesty, commitment, and it shouldn't come with a game such as like psychology or something. Like, I should not have to try to figure out puzzle pieces in order to effectively communicate. We shouldn't have to do that. If you are, you got to come and teach me, then I can help. But communication is a big factor. Certain communications, different types of communications, when situations occur and somebody, you or the other person, is being blamed for something, instead of going to other people that we tend to do, communicate with that person. Because if you know that person and you have the opportunity to be face to face with that person, you can tell if the person is being honest or not. That is the best resource. Instead of just going over to other people, you can tell if that person, if you know that person that you're with, you can tell just by the communication, face-to-face interaction that you have. That's one way of communicating. Second way of communicating is like a long-distance communication, which is probably one of the hardest, because you're long distance, you don't have the opportunity to be face-to-face with that person. So some things that I'm suggesting while I'm in my long-distance relationship is you have to be clear, you have to be honest, you have to be, how should you say it? You have to be attentive when you're communicating, when you're in a long distance relationship, because that's the only thing that you have. And sometimes assumptions or things may come around that you lost and trying to figure out where it came from. But if you can communicate with each other and be honest, you can't read people's minds over the phone. It's impossible. It's not going to work. You can tell the signs by the voice and the mood, but you have to be able to communicate effectively in order to help that relationship go forward. So you have the long distance communication. Another communication is when problems arise. All you just have to know is when we're in a relationship, communication is one of the best things. You have to first know yourself, and communication, when you have that, is setting a foundation of how your relationship should be. When you're spitting, or when you're talking to your partner or her or him, and you're trying to figure out how you want this relationship to go and where you want it to go, it's all about communicating together. You don't need a third person in your ear to be able to be in your relationship. You don't need somebody else to tell you how your relationship should be. Every relationship is different, and the fact that you actually communicated with that person gives y'all the foundation what you really need in order for that relationship to grow and continue to move on. Yes, it's great to have advice, but it's not great to have somebody who's trying to take over your relationship. That's not the good thing. You just have to communicate with that person. If something is going wrong, communicate with that person. If you're in an argument, and sometimes you're not even listening to the person, after the argument, if you can't stop it right then and there after the argument, take time to think, relax, and then come back and communicate what was being said, because you can't get anything throughout an argument. I just wanted to say how communication plays a very effective role in a relationship. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are doing great. If your relationship is great, I commend you and I support you all the way. Just continue to move forward, continue to stay blessed, communicate with each other, set that foundation, know who you're with. You can tell just by the person that you're dealing with. So communicate effectively. Nobody wants to do the mind reading. Nobody wants to do a psychic. Nobody can't judge. Nobody can't juggle. Nobody can't figure out every little thing. We might have hints or clues, but nobody can figure out every little thing that's going on in your head. You have to physically bring it out and communicate with that person. And be honest in your communication. Because if somebody finds out something else that you didn't tell them, it's only going to make your communication / trust go down. So just be honest with that person. Once you be honest, you can work together to build back up that communication that you need and that trust that you desire. But I hope everybody is doing well. God bless. Take care. I'm in NYC. If you see me, I'll say hi. If I see you, you say hi. You know, I said that backwards, but I love you guys. Peace, love, happiness. Have a nice one.